Would you tell God, the original creator, the inventor of all the universe, multiverse, etc. verse, to niche down? I highly doubt it. Imagine everything here on Earth, or within this vast universe, this creation that might never exist at all, had the OG creator niched down. If God isn't niching down, I highly recommend you do you. And if you cannot actually niche down, don't. Hi there, I'm Jules, and welcome to my not so niched down with boundaries all around my creativity YouTube channel. You don't need a niche, you just need a vibe. One of the biggest scams YouTubers have sold wannabe YouTube creators and artists for years is niche down. You gotta have a niche. Pick a niche. Define your niche. Telling someone that they have to niche down is literally like telling someone that they have to fit in somewhere. Well, I myself have never quite fit in really anywhere, actually. While this advice might have worked ages ago, YouTube has evolved, and so have many of the humans here on its platform, audience and creators, and in the world in general. We've all just grown and evolved. We don't need to put ourselves into a box. A lot of people who did niche down are now dealing with the consequence of that choice, all because they boxed themselves in when they just want to be free to create and show up as who they are now, not as what they've sold to an audience through their niche. But through that niche, they have instilled an expectation within their audience, and now they're left to rebrand themselves because they no longer align with their original niche path. The niche down agenda is stale, it's old, and it's covered in mold. Toss it out. Get it out of there. And let yourself grow. The niche box will not only define you, it will confine you. It's a box. That's what it does. We're in a new era, and it's not about showing up here with hours of edits and sound effects for a brief 10-minute niche down how-to video. We can actually just sit here now and talk. And that is acceptable and viewable, and for me, preferable and quite refreshing. This niche down and don't be authentic advice no longer serves us, and I'm certain for many of us it never actually did. In regards to my personal experience with it, it did not. Listening to the now irrelevant niche down narrative was not actually helping me create in any way. Not for a second did it actually help me begin. And at the same time, these YouTubers are saying, just start, when I don't know my niche yet. So which is it? Define my niche or just start? Spoiler alert, it's secret option number 3. Stop listening to YouTubers who just want to parrot the same lame niche down and just start clickbait advice, because it's actually possibly contributing to you and others holding themselves back by a silly idea that we should put ourselves into one box as if we're just one thing, when in reality, we're human beings, artists, and creators who are multidimensional, and the thought of choosing one tiny box to niche down into is just really not as realistic to many of us as the people who give that advice seem to think it is. One size does not fit all, and one niche down box might not feel right or best for you. Yes, we can always change our minds. We can change our hearts to realign with where we go and who we become. But in the beginning, in the creation and inception of our channels, we're simply figuring it all out. And the advice to choose one thing as we figure it all out is kind of silly, and it seems counterproductive to the entire point of creation. Would you tell God, the original creator, the inventor of all the universe, multiverse, etc. verse, to niche down? I highly doubt it. Imagine everything here on Earth, or within this vast universe, this creation that might never exist at all, had the OG creator niched down. If God isn't niching down, I highly recommend you do you. And if you cannot actually niche down, don't do it. I truly enjoy having oceans to swim in, not just waterfalls to jump off of. They're both quite magical. It's all magical, but it all exists because God didn't niche down. We're artists and chameleon creators, and it's likely a disservice to our own truest selves and to our art to box ourselves up and claim it as a niche. And once one does fall out of alignment with their niche, as so many are actually now doing, it's a whole new world of issues to rebrand and realign. Here on YouTube, it's likely better to just be the non-niche down version of your truest self and allow those who vibe with you and align with you to do exactly that. Vibe with you and align with you and your messages without the hindrance of expectations that the niche gives, which will ultimately breed disappointment because as we are now witnessing, the consequences of niching down comes with disappointing an actual audience and then having to rebrand in accordance with individual alignment of the creator who niched down in the first place and allow those expectations within their audience to be bred through the niche. Save yourself the trouble and just show up as authentic with what's on your heart and mind and soul to be shared and expressed, not with what fits inside of a teeny tiny niched down box. The niche down also comes with a big question. Why? Why should we niche down? Why should I? Why should you? Why niche down to appease an audience that I don't actually even have yet? They'll tell us it's to find your audience, but I call bullshit. Advice like niche down just breeds dilemma and procrastination, not genuine inspiration. It gives humans the idea that they must be just one thing to grow and gain an audience and viewership here on YouTube. You don't need a niche. You just need a vibe and a voice. Become your own niche. If you're an interesting and unique person with anything of value to share and express, then do it. You may just have an edge of likability working in your favor. If I enjoy your vibe or I find any value in your message, I'll likely tune in regardless. I like a vibe, and the vibe has value in itself because it's an energy, and often it might even be why I tune into someone who even has a niche in the first place. It's more important to me the energy someone gives off and comes through in their presence and with their message, rather than if every single bit of content on their channel aligns with some well-defined niche, because we don't belong in a box, so don't put yourself in one. It's a good way to get trapped. Speak, share, express that which is being put on your heart, mind, and soul to release into the world. Whatever you're being called to put out into this ether, just do it. For me, it's just my own life, my stories, my own perspectives, wisdoms I've gained through both experiences that I've had and wisdom that I've asked God for. My thoughts, my opinions, my views, my own knowledge and understandings of the world and beyond. And someday maybe I'd even like to bring others in to share and tell their life stories or viewpoints as well. Or maybe I'll vlog my many travel adventures or do a cooking video and share about what I eat now as a recovering former raw vegan who was once upon a time just a little bit obsessive about reaching a higher level of spiritual enlightenment through the assistance of only consuming raw fruits and vegetables. That was an interesting time. I'm just an intuitive storyteller with life experiences and a lot to share. And I don't have one genre other than me, who I am, and the paths that have brought me to who I've become. And I feel grateful for that because it actually sincerely does feel right within my being. It feels aligned with who I am. And as I sit here recording this, I find myself in disbelief over the amount of time and energy I spent contemplating and stressing out about a niche. It's just not even worth it, my friends. Fuck the niche, actually. I recall going over in my mind many of the things I enjoy or that I'm very good at or that are important parts of my life. None of the things I'm interested in I was actually interested in talking about here on a regular basis on YouTube, other than my own personal journey of self-creation, discovery, and spiritual alignment. As a born actor, I do love being on camera, and that's one of the many reasons why I couldn't wait any longer to show up here, regardless of what I happen to share in any given YouTube video, and despite not watering myself down to a singular niche outside of me, my life, my own unique individual human composition. I have a lot to say, to share and express, and I'll say it again, one size will never fit all. So for me to finally conclude that the overly parroted niche down advice didn't suit who I am, how I feel, or what I want, felt incredibly freeing and empowering to me. And I'm finally able to show up here now outside of a genre or a category or a niche and just be me. Hello. If you feel this way too, then just let it be. End the seemingly endless scavenger hunt for the infamous niche and simply come to the camera and speak about what moves you. Share what the callings you feel inside push and inspire you to express, no matter what categories your thoughts may fall into. Don't hold back just because it doesn't align with the box that is the nonsensical niche. I actually feel once one starts, everything will fall into place and flow as it wants to evolve and become what it's meant to be. It took me over 10 years to finally create this YouTube channel after the inception of I must do this was born within me. And what I felt was a big contribution to my decade-long procrastination status was the lie I heard and repeated to myself that I had to have a niche. And the fact that I just could not do that. I held myself back by listening to this nonsense that I thought mattered to my own YouTube journey because the people who said it were successful here. But I couldn't find a niche that felt like me, that felt like mine, or that felt aligned with my soul and my purpose. I felt consistently overwhelmed with the idea that I had to find one single thing that meant just enough to me to choose to put it out into the world on a regular basis. I felt like I had to fully define my channel down to that one thing before I could even show up here at all. I felt like I had to fit in when I really just want to stand out, until one glorious day when I finally realized it's me. Hi, I am the niche. It's me. I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be an inspiration. I would love to inspire other humans to live an authentic, sovereign, and joy-filled life that they genuinely love, that they are grateful for, and that they're happy to wake up to each and every day, forever. So, whatever niche that is, okay, that's the niche. I'm grateful I discarded the niche, and now I can finally follow the flow of the callings I'm receiving and that so many others might still be fighting over because of the niche. And in my ultimate reality, now was always the time to disregard the niche and start anyway. Not 10 years ago, now. What I referred to as procrastination for so long was actually preparation. And I'll share another video all about that topic sometime soon. I don't feel like I've lost 10 years of YouTube due to simply experiencing life. I feel I've truly gained so much more value that is more worthy of now being shared here to an audience who needs my message and the medicine they will potentially receive from it. So it's clear to me it was always preparation. I just labeled it as procrastination, and I felt bad about it for far too long. I'm not by any means advising anyone else to take a decade to create their own channel. I'm simply saying, when you feel the callings and you trust yourself that it is the right time, just do it. You don't need a niche. You are the niche. You are the vibe. Just show up, turn on your camera, speak your authentic heart, tell the truth, share it, and you will call in your YouTube tribe. The right humans who need your message truly will find you, because that is how this magical realm works. God and this glorious creation, this universe that was created out of loneliness, does tend to lead us all to exactly where we need to be when we need to be there. And if we ever feel delayed, we're simply rerouted. It's all good. I believe in you. I believe in me. So don't listen to anyone who tells us to niche down when we really just need to set ourselves free. Because I've got lots of weed whackers in the background joining me for sound effects. Not really into that. Love the birds, love the wind, even don't mind the cock-a-doodle-doo of a rooster. But, oh my gosh, the yard work drives me insane. I sometimes feel like I can't escape the yard work. No matter how many state lines I cross, no matter where I go. Why must people constantly be blowing leaves or whacking weeds? Or whatever the heck else this person out here is doing on a machine that destroys plants.